Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Grand Rising. Just opening up space. Opening up space for our ancestors, our loved ones. Y'all already know the souls that came before us. That love us, that honor us, that want to see us walk in our divine paths, that want to help align us with our divine paths. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. I give thanks for the opportunity. I give thanks for the ears to receive. I give thanks for the heart to receive and for the heart to give these messages as well, in clarity and truth, for the highest and greatest good of us all, right? I give thanks for that. I give thanks for being divinely connected, divinely guided, divinely led, right? I give thanks. I give thanks. Gratitude. Hello, hello to all of my beautiful ascended masters. You know, if you're here, welcome to the tribe, y'all. Welcome to the tribe. For those of you guys who don't know who I am Phoenix Asset. Okay. I am not only a tarot reader, but I am a spiritual guide. I just recently started on TikTok, maybe about a year or so ago. Very well known within the spiritual realm and within the spiritual community, within where I live. All of my workings are not plagiarized all over the internet, so a lot of people are not plastered. Sometimes it is plagiarized. Alrighty, so be mindful of the scammers. Be mindful of the people that impersonate me, that try to collect money from you all, that'll inbox you all. Know that I will never inbox you all. I will never reach out first. Okay, that's not my thing. Alrighty. But I'm here, guys, to give you all your collective message for today. Okay. Usually I'm on YouTube at this hour giving these messages, right? But today I was called to do it on TikTok. I'm not exactly sure why I was called to do it on TikTok, but my guides have opened a path for me and have gave me clear and direct instructions. They have literally moved things around and I don't want to say forced me, but they gave me a hard push. They gave me a hard nudge, right? But it's always done in love, and I know that it's for not only my greatest and highest good, but for your greatest and highest good as well. Alrighty. So yeah, we're here, guys, and we're gonna open up space. And again, I just want to say thank you. Not only thank you to my ancestors, but thank you to you as well, you know, for being here. And it's not necessarily a thank you from me, but a thank you from your ancestors and your spirit team, right? It's a thank you for not only receiving the wisdom, but for applying it, right? And gaining the knowledge, okay? Because anybody can repeat what they've read in a book, all right? Or repeat some things that they've read or heard on the social media apps and things like that, right? But not many souls can truly grasp the wisdom and apply it to make it knowledge, apply it to their everyday lives. Not many people can do that, right? Or not many people do that, right? And so they're saying thank you for being one of those souls that indeed does that, right? And so again, before we get started, I am Phoenix. I said I'm your tarot reader, your spiritual guide, your friend, your buddy, old pal, your friend, your buddy, old pal. I'm your friend, your friend, friend, your friend, your friend, friend, your friend, your friend, friend, your buddy, old pal. What's up, guys? And again, I am a tarot reader. I'm a spiritual guide. I am a channeler, if you guys cannot tell, right? Please understand, while you guys are listening to this collective energy read, right? This is a general collective energy read. So know that there will be something in here for you, for you, for you, you, and you. Alrighty? Please also keep in mind that this is an Ascended Master Oracle read. So not only will only the Ascended Master, well, that's a lie. Ascended Masters will be drawn to this reading, as well as karmics. You know, the energies that want to come in and disrupt things, right? The energies that feed off of negativity and things like that, right? They'll join the chat as well. Just as in life, you have the energies that will help you, that align with your greatest and highest frequency, your greatest and highest destiny, right? But then you also have those energies that will come and try to shift your energy. They will try to throw you off track, right? You have those energies as well. But we say, fuck them energies. But so, again, I am a channeler, okay? I channel my goddess, alrighty? Those of you that know. Those of you who don't. But in the community, we do not tell everybody who our goddess is, who our guides are, who our ancestors are. We don't do that. That is something that is kept sacred. Alrighty. So not only will I be giving you guys collective energy reading, and you know, helping you all to ascend, but I also spit a lot of knowledge here, a lot of wisdom here. Alrighty. And it is given for free, but only those with the ears to receive will receive what is being put down. Okay, I talk in allegories, right? A lot of the wisdom and the knowledge will be spoken in the words that are within the words, if that makes sense. Okay, reading in between the lines. Alrighty, just as our ancestors did before us. But again, my goddess, she does like to shine her light. My ancestors are very, very prominent within our lives and within my life. Okay, so with that being said, sometimes y'all will get me energetic. Y'all will see the difference. Y'all will see the difference. Alrighty. And then sometimes my goddess will appear just as she did in the beginning of this reading. And she's very, very mellow, very strong, very calm, very collected, very in your face, right? But she is nothing to be played with, okay? She is the mother of magic, okay? The goddess of 10,000 names, 100,000 names, if you will. Alrighty. But Grand Rising, my beautiful babies, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. It's a beautiful day to be alive. It's a beautiful day to thrive. Alrighty. Again, my babies, keep in mind that this is a general collective read, so there will be something in here for everybody. If you feel called to this reading in any way, shape, or form, if you feel called to this energy, because I am everything and nothing at all, just as you. I am merely just energy. I'm merely just your energy. a mirror of you, right? That's all I am. That's all any of us are, truly. Alrighty? So be very mindful of the people that you are connecting with, of the people that are entering your chat, entering your circle, right? Because these are all mirrors and reflections of yourself, whether it be good or what we call bad, right? But those are the lessons. Ashe. Moon card energy. Alrighty. But yes, guys, please keep in mind that there is no gender in tarot. There is only masculine and feminine energy that dwells in every last single living, breathing entity that is walking this earth. Alrighty. Please also keep in mind that there is no time stamp on this reading. When you see this reading, that is when it is meant for you. Okay? And because I was called to post on TikTok this rising instead of my normal platform, I'm not sure if I'll be downloading this video and posting it to my usual platform or what. But right now, this is what we're being called to do. So again, this is what we're doing. Alright. I'm sensing a lot of confusion in somebody's energy, right? Like they don't know which way to go. Like they don't know if they're on the right path, right? And again, you're being reminded of the lessons. Lessons, not stressing, is what I heard, right? A lot of times we'll get wrapped up in the times that are not favorable to us. So much so that we will miss the lesson, right? We'll miss what is meant for our highest and greatest good because we're dwelling in things not being favorable, right? But again, it's about knowledge, it's about wisdom. Know that that path, that place, this place that you are, this sense of confusion that you are in, it's not to hinder you. It's not to bring you down in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Okay? It is meant to show you a different aspect of yourself, a different perspective of yourself. It is meant to align you with some sort of wisdom, right? Because in this next stage you're headed to, you're going to need to be able to apply that wisdom again to make it knowledge. Alrighty. You're being called to sit with your ancestors, to pour libations for your ancestors, right? To go in sacred space with your ancestors, not expecting an immediate result, right? Not expecting that instant gratification, right? But expecting nothing and enjoying the journey, right? And I'm being reminded of that message that I was given today as I was sitting and I was cleansing some of my charms and things like that I use for intentional readings and things like that. I'm sitting there and I'm cleansing them with my Florida water. You know, I'm speaking my blessings over it. And I was just being reminded, you know, to let you guys know, like, take your time. Take your time. Don't rush. Don't rush when it comes to giving your offerings for your ancestors. Don't rush when it comes to cleansing your sacred space, right? Don't rush when it comes to cleansing your objects. You know, don't rush when it comes to maybe for some of you guys learning tarot, right? Don't rush when it comes to your candle magic. Don't even rush to go into candle magic, right? And I hate to bring up the TikTok witches and things like that, right? But sit with your guide. Y'all heard that? Loud and clear. I hope you all heard that loud and clear, right? That was your confirmation. A lot of these people are just noise, loud noise. They speak, and it's just a lot of loud and wrong information. Don't get caught up in that, right? I heard expect nothing and gain everything. That's what I just heard, right? Like there's some people now, like hurry up and pull the tarot cards. They're in a rush, so much so that they are not receiving the knowledge that I'm giving them right now without the tarot cards, right? They are yearning for the aesthetic, the visuals, right? So much so that a lot of this is going over their heads, right? Remember, a lot of this wisdom is spoken in allegories and in the words within the words. I heard silent, subtle evolution, right? That confusion you're feeling, right? You're like, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if this is the right way, right? Thank you for that. I don't know what that was, but that was a confirmation for me, right? But you need to know that that is exactly the place that you need to be in, right? Exactly the place. Don't rush. Don't rush the knowledge. Don't rush the wisdom. Don't rush the wisdom. Don't rush the wisdom. Right? A lot of you, I'm seeing a seed within my third eye, right? And you know how the seed has to germinate first, right? There's a process that takes place under the soil before you see the sprout, right? And before the pruning happens, before the budding happens, right? There's a whole process, and it takes time. It takes time. You are that seed, Ashe. You are that seed, right? Don't rush your germination process, right? There's a shift that has happened. Confirmations, be all around us. Y'all just open your eyes. I heard X marks the spot. You are the treasure, right? You are the treasure. And there's energies watching you. There's energies watching you. And not only are these energies that are meant to help you, but just energies that want to know what you're doing, want to know what you're up to. These are major corporations, major cults, major covens. And again, know that when I say this, I'm not only speaking, one second guys, Grand Rising everybody. I want to give thanks to the winds of the north, south, east. Thank you to all of our divine fine ancestors. Thank you for the messages. Exactly where you need to be. Right? The messages are all around us. All around us. Divine treasure. I heard fruitfulness, abundance. I'm seeing a pen. A lot of you guys have been released from some sort of black magic, baneful magic. Okay? I want you guys to, this is some knowledge. I want you guys to be very mindful that black magic and baneful magic is not the same. It's not the same thing. The winds are blowing, giving us confirmation. It's not the same thing. Black magic is your magic, right? Baneful magic is something completely different. But you guys have been released from that. Because this morning I could have sworn I took all the pins out, but we just seen a green pin. It wasn't pinned to anything, nothing. It's just in there. You guys have been released from some sort of baneful magic, from something that was hindering you, pinning you to some sort of mindset, okay? A mindset of lack. These people, these covens, these energies, thank you, Spirit, for bringing that back. They know who you are, right? They know what you could do for your community, what you do for your community, right? So that feeling of being lost, confused, that isn't even your energy. It's not your energy. But you know, you need to know that you've been cleared from that, okay? So a lot of you may have been in that state of confusion, and now it's kind of lifting. So you have that fire energy, that passionate energy, that kundalini energy again rising within you. So you're feeling like this is some sort of energy that is propelling you, but this is just your energy returning. Thank you, Spirit. I just seen a dandelion in its spirit form floating on by. Confirmation. Your energy returning. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Grateful to have survived it all. Yes. Yes. I'm getting chills. Yes. Okay. But you were always meant to survive it all. Nothing that came against you was meant to hinder you. I mean, it may have hindered you, but it was never meant to bring you down. It was never meant to stop you. It never could stop you. It was meant to stop you. Thank you, Spirit. Okay? It was meant to stop you, but they could never. Because you are divinely protected, divinely guided. Your ancestors' wildest dream, right? A lot of you guys have realized that Jesus is not your Savior. All praises to the ancestors. Okay? You have realized that Jesus is not your Savior. You have realized that Jesus is an ascended master, just as the goddess Aset, just as the goddess Sekhmet, just as Hathor, just as Ishtar, just as Oshun, just as Ra, just as Buddha, just as Persephone, right? And because you have obtained this knowledge, right? Because knowledge is wisdom that is applied, right? Because you have gained this knowledge, you also realize that all of the Ascended Master's energy lies within. You don't read the deity stories as a deity that is separated from yourself, but the deity that is within. And because of that, you have grown. Because of that, you have reached new heights. Because of that, you have elevated. Because of that, you have ascended. Because of that, you have became a walking ascended master, right? We are only the ascended masters returned. Whether we walk in our knowing and we have that knowing, or we don't, right? And that's why you have the term woke, right? Because we have awakened from our dream state. We have awakened from that dream of thinking that somebody is going to come in and save us. Baby, can't nobody save you but you. Okay? That Bible, that is the stories of the powers that lie within. Read it. Read it. All right? Your great ancestors that practice hoodoo, your great ancestors from Louisiana, your great ancestors as mine from the islands, Montego Bay. Alrighty? They know this. Alrighty? So don't be someone that is, don't be one of those people that's like, fuck the Bible. Y'all hear them people all the time. The Bible this, the Bible that. You're basically slapping your ancestors in the face, because your ancestors who were forced across the ocean seas, who risked their lives, who died, who fought so hard, you know, once their knowledge was taken away from them, the knowledge of their guides, again I said guides, okay, and gods, alrighty, once it was taken from them, and then they were brought over here with these monstrous people who did monstrous things, right? And they were given that Bible, right? They took that Bible and they made something out of nothing, just as they always have done, right? And so when you're screaming, fuck the Bible is this, our ancestors didn't do this, they didn't do that, baby, they seen, alrighty, they seen Ogun, Archangel Michael, okay, as one and the same, alrighty, they seen Aset and Mary as one and the same, right? And so what they did was they hid their practices behind the deities of what was accepted, so they wouldn't get beat, so they wouldn't get criticized, so they wouldn't get burned at the stake or whatever the case, you know? So do not denounce the teachings, the knowledge, the wisdom that was passed down through these teachings that were curated by our ancestors. Do not denounce that, because that in turn is denouncing the ones that came before you, the ones that made that lied that path, that laid that path, right? Don't do that. But get to know the stories of these deities, right? So that you can get to know the powers, not only of your true self, but so you can get to know thyself, right? Don't denounce the 10 commandments, but learn where they come from, which is the 42 laws of Ma'at. Alrighty? Retrace your roots, find out who you are, right? Because all of these teachings are showing you exactly who you are, right? There's been a lot of little baby bees. I'm seeing 3 right now, but we got a lot of little baby bees visiting us today. A lot of a lot of prosperous energy, but a lot of enlightening. A lot of enlightenment. And they're pollinating the flowers, y'all. Your ancestors are just preparing you. They're just getting you ready. You're about to bloom so beautifully. So beautifully. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Now, I know what you all came here for. I know you all want the visuals. I know you all want the visuals. Hello to everybody. I hope all is well. I hope everybody is doing absolutely amazing, absolutely wonderful. I'm going to take the time out before we get started to read some of the comments. I hope that is okay with you all. I celebrated a year of sobriety on the 15th. Yes! Ashe, ashe. I love that. Ashe to you. Ashe to you. Ashe to you, divine. That's so big and that's so amazing. And everybody, y'all, everybody that is here should tell her congratulations. All right, because that's super. That is super. That is super. Writing. I help. Oh my gosh. I'm so grateful to be a part of your journey, but I cannot. You did that. You did that. From day one. I fucking love it. I love it. You have to save yourself. God is in us and we call on him. Faith without works is dead. Oh my gosh. We're here. Why is that something that I tell the people all the time? Faith without works is dead. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Yes, I know who I am now. Yes, I am grateful I survived it all. Yes, someone tried to and all. Baby, I promise you, they sitting in that. Judgment season has been called upon the earth, right? And that's why you see these big corporations, these covens falling, right? And when I say big corporations, and I'm talking about covens, I'm talking about energies that have came against you lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, right? In one lifetime, it was an actual coven, right? That wanted to come, a coven of witches, right? You have your high priestesses and you have your witches. Those who know, right? But example, and high priest knows that certain workings are not to be used against certain communities, certain peoples, if you will, right? The workings, for example, knowledge, but for example, right, the binding rituals that people speak of, right, the hexing work that people speak of a lot of times on these apps. Oh, you want to bind this man to this woman. Oh, you want to hex this person because of this. That is not the way. That is not the way. Take heed to what I'm saying, you guys. Okay? Please take heed to these messages. But that is not the way. The binding rituals were to be done on individuals. That word to get out there. That was confirmation. Y'all heard them bells, right? But then they said, hold on, we don't want that to be said. But that's how powerful these covens, that's how strongly they will try to hinder you, because they're not powerful at all. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, but that's how strongly they come against the chosen, right? But the binding magic and things of that nature, it wasn't your phone. It was the live. It was the live. They weren't meant to be done on, for those little frivolous, mundane, lower vibrational things. The binding magic and things like that is meant to be done on the communities, the entities that tried to come against your community. Right? Our workings and things like that were demonized because it worked so well, right? Because it worked so well on the people that it was meant to be used on, right? It was never meant to be used on each other, right? But for the energies that don't align, that want to destroy, that thrive on negative energy, that thrive on a community that is dealing in fear and neglect, right? And trauma and all of these things. See, everything going up right now is not a coincidence, right? They see the uprise. They see the rise in the ascended masters. They know that their time is up, is coming to an end. They know this. They know this. They see more than we know that the divine ones are waking up, right? And so what do? They add in agents, right, that come and they speak and they sound knowledgeable, but then they will teach about things that aren't truly aligned with who we are or who we are meant to be, or our greatest and highest frequency, right? They'll have all these millions of followers, and y'all know we kind of live in a monkey see, monkey do as society, right? So they'll see a lot of likes on the videos, and somebody will listen to it and they'll like it just because they see all these other likes, or they won't listen to it because they don't see any likes, when really that is where the real knowledge is. That is where the real truth is. But again, we live in a world of instant gratification. If people don't see it, right? They don't excuse me, y'all, I just seen a beetle that looked like a scarab. Transformation, rebirth, renewal. I gotta say, I've never seen a bug like that. And I know they exist, but this is my first time seeing one. And again, we're seeing all these little baby bees, y'all. The blessings of your ancestors are upon you. They're upon you, y'all. They're upon you. All praises. Right? But I forgot where I was at. Okay, but like for instance, I'm here, I'm giving y'all spirited messages, but I ain't pulled out my cards yet. And so some people have left because of that. Right? They like, this bitch ain't pulled no card yet. They don't see anything that is appealing, so they, I don't know, child, I don't get it. Excuse me. There's a little spider that has made a little web attaching itself to my spiritual transformation, right? A spiritual transformation, a subtle transformation. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? We got immersion. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so happy for you. Soul retrieval. Remember I said gifts and things being returned, right? I told you guys have reclaimed your power, reclaimed your throne, right? Reclaim your destiny, reclaim your soul's destiny. Right now, guys, I want you to place your right hand above your heart, and I want you to say, I call back my power. I reclaim my throne. I reclaim my energy. Everything that is aligned with my greatest and highest good shall now come to me. Any negative energies and entities, I now release. I am divinely protected, divinely guided, and I now engulf myself in the burning white light that is love and light and ascension. Ashe. And so it is. And so it is. We have, again, immersion. We have soul retrieval, which is reclaiming your power, right? We have south, which is abundance. We have tree people, which is sustenance. And we have medicine mass, which is authenticity. I'll do one more. Stone people, which is knowing. And we'll read it exactly how it's read within the spread, right? Just because one card may come before another, because you think it means something, when you lay it down, it tells a story. I think that's why I've been called to come to the forefront on TikTok, because there's lessons and things like that that you guys maybe need to learn. Disperse was at the bottom of the deck, as well as perspective. Alrighty. Council. So we'll read from the bottom of the deck first, as we always do. Right? And then we'll go into the energy spread. And we will use our pretty pink princess card for confirmation if we need any. Ashe. Grand Rising, everybody. Grand Rising. And we will also use our original White Rider deck as well for confirmation. Right? And I place them in the ground so they can get that Mother Nature energy as well. Ashe. So, I think this is a beautiful, beautiful energy. The cards are just, again, confirmation. Alrighty, not only from what I have been speaking, but confirmation for what you already know, right? I am just your beautiful, beautiful confirmation. That is all I am, all I will ever be. I am everything again and nothing at the same time. I am only a reflection of you, of your thoughts. I'm only a mirror of you and your thoughts. I'm never telling you guys anything that you don't know, that you don't feel, right? You know, you just needed that extra voice. And so that's why I'm here to give you that extra voice. Ashe. Mustard seeds and mustard seeds and cinnamon is very, very, very significant, right? As I was pulling out my charms for my intentional readings today, I was told to add some cinnamon and some mustard seeds to it. Alrighty, so a lot of you guys just need to hold on. Have a little bit more faith. Hold on, hold on. Or is it, float on, float on. Alrighty. But there's been a lot of negative energy that has been removed from your energy field, removed from your paths. I'm seeing just a golden path. A path that has been cleared, a path that is abundant, that is successful, that is joyful, right? No more blockages. I'm seeing you being able to walk freely in your calling and in your path. Right? Some of you guys are being called to do some blood magic right now. Oh, don't run. Don't be scared. Right? This is the magic of your ancestors. Right? A lot of people talk about hoodoo. They talk about Ifa. They talk about the dysporias all day, every day. But then when you start talking about that shit, literal shit too, right? Because you can do some shit with some shit, okay? But you start talking about that, they get a little fearful. Don't be fearful of who you are. Don't be fearful of who you are. Okay? Confirmation. Right? Again, these workings are the workings of your ancestors. These are the workings that you are meant to do, that you are being called to do. A lot of you guys are afraid to tap in because you are afraid of your power. Y'all see the flames getting all high, and y'all be like, oh shit. Nah, baby, that's just you. That's you. That's your ancestors. Right? Don't be afraid of that. Just as you shouldn't be afraid of the monitoring spirits, of those flies, of those gnats, right? They appear in the energetic form, in the mundane form as flies and gnats. Alrighty. But know again that these covens and stuff, they're watching you because you have became a threat to their plan, to their goal. Alrighty, a lot of you guys, there has been a shift that happened within the last 2 or 3 weeks, and a lot of you guys have had a sense of a higher perspective, a different perspective, right? A higher calling. You guys have been again, you guys are feeling more passionate, but again, this is just you literally reclaiming who you are, you stepping back into your truth, you stepping back into your power, that negative energy that has been removed and released from your energy field. right? A lot of you guys need to get some rattles, just rattles. If you guys are wondering what tools you can work with and things like that, get a rattle. Alrighty, you want to disperse negative energy, get a rattle. Alrighty. That's why when babies are born, in certain dysphorias, they get the rattle and they'll shake the rattle. Well, you guys know when you guys are getting cleansings or anything like that, if you're getting, I don't want to say true cleansings because there's many different dysphorias do it many different ways. The way my ancestors did it, or, my mother or her mother did it, can definitely look different from the way that your mother did it, even when we are practicing hoodoo, right? Even for the ones that are practicing hoodoo, it looks different depending on what side of the globe you are on. You get what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind, right? But with the dysphoria that I work with, that I know of, that I have been raised on, whenever we're doing cleansings and things like that, or removing negative energy, we'll get a rattle and we shake it around the person's head as we're doing the cleansing with our herbs and things like that, okay? Or with the palm trees, bushes and things like that, okay? But there is an abundance that is coming from you, and this isn't just financial abundance, okay? This is an abundance of joy, an abundance of love, an abundance of appreciation, things like that. Okay, this is an abundance coming in from all angles, from all directions. This is the abundance of your ancestors. And they're doing this to say thank you. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you for keeping our legacy alive and our practices alive. Thank you for standing true to who you are. Thank you for being balanced within your nature. Thank you for living by the laws of Ma'at. Thank you. Right? You guys have faced what needed to be faced. You guys have released yourselves from these shackles, right? There's literally, and I keep talking, for some of you guys, you have people watching you, and I keep talking about the people that's watching you, but then I keep getting redirected, because the people that's watching you, they really don't matter. But you need to know that there are people watching you. There's literally been a fly, a monitoring spirit sitting on my Isis Oracle book, and now that I'm talking about it, it's kind of moving around, but it's been sitting there like literally still this entire time, not moving, like it's literally listening to what I'm saying. It is literally watching me, like it's literally sitting there looking at me. And now that I've acknowledged it, I'm saying, like, I see you looking at me, it has stopped. Okay. There we go. Okay. But again, they don't matter, these covens. Okay, back to the covens. These were people, again, that were once in covens, okay, in another lifetime, alrighty, doing baneful things to you, right, and have followed you from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, and now they're just, oh, look at the little bee. Again, the covens don't fucking matter. Y'all see how I just got distracted again by that Oshun energy, right? They see the abundance. They see the abundance that is surrounding you. They see the great things that are about to happen. They see, I'm seeing the Sun card energy. They see the blessings that are about to overpour into your life. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Today, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay? And we welcome those beautiful blessings in with open arms, We welcome the knowledge in with open arms, right? Because when you have knowledge, you have everything. Ashe, when you have knowledge, you have everything. Because wisdom is what? Wisdom ain't nothing. Wisdom ain't shit, okay? Wisdom ain't shit if you don't apply it, okay? I don't care what you know. How the fruits of your labor looking. Knowledge is power and so much more. And so much more. But see, the word power has such a negative attachment to it. We're being, reminded to not worry about the power. You know, people get power and do some crazy things. They do some crazy things. Crazy things. People do crazy things for power, right? They'll go against their practices, right? You have people on this here live and stuff, not on this here live, but on this here platform, maybe even on this here live, who knows, or that has came in and walked out, whatever. But they'll take the wisdom that they have learned, and they will use it for power, so much so, again, that they go against the practices, that they go against the ways of their ancestors, right? They'll do tarot and things like that for money. And yes, you can use it for money, but they're using it for all of the wrong things, right? And that's why I've been called to the forefront to give these teachings, to give this knowledge, and I'm grateful for that. And y'all, let me tell y'all how your ancestors work, right? Because a lot of people, they think that, and we were just speaking about this, but a lot of people, they think that when you start working with your ancestors, or I won't even say ancestors, right? Because it's just a spiritual path, period. They have this negative connotation, when it comes to being a spiritualist. And I get it, because you have a lot of people that will make you have a negative outlook on it, right? But they'll do it with ill intent, right? Or they'll do it from a closed heart space, or for a heart space that is only seeking money, that is only seeking acknowledgement, that is only seeking instant gratification. And so they pervert the teachings, or again, they'll make it all money centered, money based, when the wisdom and the knowledge is supposed to be taught and given for free. Like, yes, you do make you make your coins now, okay, but you don't do it for that. And a lot of people these days, they do it simply for that, right? And they don't even live by the teachings that they are speaking about. So they haven't even truly gained the knowledge, right? They're just a person that is full of wisdom. But I truly heard full of bullshit, okay? But I don't let my God. Alrighty. So, but you guys have had this soul immersion, right? This soul connection. You guys have been aligned with your soul's destiny, right? Which is your highest and greatest form, your highest and greatest frequency, right? A lot of you guys could definitely be seeing a lot of bees right now, or I don't know if that's just me. Okay, but let me tell y'all how your ancestors work, okay? Because that's what we was getting at. So a lot of you all know that, I'm a born, raised spiritualist. I'm a hoodooist by nature. I don't like to put a dysphoria, but if that's the dysphoria, I want to make it something that you guys can connect with. And so if I was to choose a dysphoria, I would say it's more so hoodoo based, right? But real spiritualists know that there is no true path. There's no one true path. Ashe, there's different paths to enlightenment, many different paths to enlightenment, right? And again, so them deities live within you. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that. All right. But I've been called to do some things, and I've been called to do some things for at least 2 years now. I have another company, another very successful company outside of Divine Ascension with Isis. And although I've done my community workings and I do what I need to do for the collective, I've done that for a very, very, very long time. Since I was a little girl. I've always made sure that I was doing the things that my ancestors called me to do, that I was, giving the messages that need to be given and things like that. However, for the past 2 years, my ancestors and my elders have been telling me that it's time for me to step up. For those of y'all that know, y'all know. For those of you who don't, you don't, and that's perfectly fine, right? But I was being called to step up and make certain changes so that I can give more energy where I need to give it. I just killed that monitoring spirit. Okay. Ashe, sometimes you have to connect with y'all can connect with the energies of these animals. Y'all know that these bugs, these birds, these bees, everything. Right? Don't mind me, y'all. But and I was tiptoeing, right? I was tiptoeing. I was doing what I wanted to do, and I was making it make sense in my head, in my mundane mind. I was making it make sense, and I was saying things like, "Oh, well, no, I could do this. I could just do this, and I could do this at the same time." But the whole time, my spirit guides were telling me, "No, I'm looking at the beautiful baby bee, just buzzing, buzzing, buzzing." Yes, I know. I've answered the calling. Yes, I know. Would you like to land on me? Well, my hand is here whenever you're ready. I see you. I love you. Okay. And so they're just letting me know, girl, great things are going to come from this. I know. But I was pussyfooting around, for lack of better terms, right? I was pussyfooting around doing what I wanted to do. Ashe, making my own decisions with my hard-headed ass, okay? And that's one thing about your guides and stuff too. They know you. They know you better than you know yourself. Hi, beautiful soul. How are you? Okay. And so I was doing things. I was making it make sense, every time. And I'm just going to mention this, not to sell anything, but just to let you guys know. But I have a very highly successful edible company called 704 Munchies. Crazy prominent company, and I'm just sitting here like, I made so much money, and I make so much money. But for the last 2 years, I started that company in 2017, but for the last 2 years I've been called to step out of that light, right? Because when I say and this is not to toot my own horn, but this is just to let you guys know who I am within my community, within my other company. I'm a very highly successful podcast host. I'm just successful in everything I do. And I say that because I have to remind myself, not to gloat, but to remind myself, right? Because sometimes we get wrapped up in these identities that we have created for ourselves, right? Or we get wrapped up in these mindsets, right? And so for the longest, a lot of y'all don't know because I never advertised on here, but one of my aliases is the edible plug, right? So for years I have been known as the edible plug. For years I have attached myself to that identity that I created, not who I am, but that I created. I mean, that is a part of me, but that isn't who I am as a whole, you know. But I immersed myself so much in that energy and in that frequency that when my guides started telling me to detach, to pull back, and to give to this energy, to give to this frequency, I was scared, right? And again, so I would pussyfoot around and I would make excuses as to why this is what I must be doing, and why I can't step fully into what you guys want me to do, because this is what I'm seeing. You get what I'm saying? And the whole time my elders and the people within my family, and my ancestors, they're like, no, this is what we need you to do, and the time is now, right? And so just last week we were having those meetings and things again, and they were telling me the same thing. And I'm just like, you know what? This is scary, and it's going to be scary, but I'm willing, right? Because you have to be willing before anything. And before, I was never truly willing. I was saying that I was, right? But in my heart, I truly wasn't willing, because again, I had attached my identity so much to the edible plug and so much to 704 Munchies that I could not see other people seeing me as anything other than that, right? But just last night, again, as I was sitting with my elders and I was communing with my tribe and things like that, I was told again that I was basically reminded that, hey, you started that from nothing. You created that identity from nothing. Nobody knew who you were, things like that. And you can do the same, right? And so again, I went into this space willing. I went into this mindset willing. But again, I'm very hard-headed, y'all. I'm very hard-headed. And I'm a Capricorn. So, and I'm a human as well. So a lot of times I get wrapped up in the instant gratification, and I want things to show right now, not later, right? Sometimes we get wrapped up in that. And so much so that sometimes it will put us at a standstill, right? It'll make us feel like we're in that two of swords energy, like we're in that deadlock, right? Or in that eight of swords energy where we're feeling trapped, like we don't know which way to go, that confused energy, right? But you have to be willing. You have to be willing to move, and you have to have that faith in your ancestors, in your spirit guides, in your divine support system. Ashe. But again, I'm hard-headed, right? So even though I was willing, I'm still kind of like, I was kind of on the fence. And so my ancestors made the move for me. Right? They made it for me. And they completely got rid of everything that I attached that identity to. They got rid of the Facebook. For years and years and years, I have been selling edibles on Facebook. Okay. Like literally, that was my platform that I did all of my business. That was the platform that I ascended on when it came to creating and to establishing my business. Right? And I told them, I said it and I meant it. that now I am ready. You can give me the torch, right? You can pass me that. And I took it in my hand. And not even 5 minutes later, it was gone. The page was gone. The 704 Munchies page was gone. Even my Divine Ascension with Isis page was gone that I attached to that page and that platform. Initially when this happened, I'm like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? Right? And I'm like trying to create a new page with the same name, and they like, no, you said you were reeling, right? You said I know it's scary, I know you're scared, but you're willing, right? And I said yes. And so I said to take that emotion of fear away from me. Continue to guide me, continue to hold my hand, continue to lead me through this transition, because I know it is the transition that is meant for my greatest and highest good. And when I woke up this rising, baby, yeah, they got rid of it. They got rid of it. They said, no, you're not going to do this anymore. And because we know you won't do it of your own free will, we're going to do it for you, right? So that's how your ancestors work, right? If they see you're ready, you're willing, you're open about it, but they know you won't make certain moves on your own, they will do it for you. That is why it is called divine intervention. That is why it is called divine intervention, right? And that's why you sit with your counsel. That is why you sit with your ancestors. You have these conversations and you tell them exactly how you feel from a heart space that is pure, from a heart space that is ready. Yeah, that happened, girl, because I said I'm ready, and they said, all right, show us how ready you are. And at first I was like, no, I'm not ready. Okay? But this is something, you are creating something that is rooted in who you are, that is rooted in your soul's purpose, that is rooted in your soul's mission, right? This shift that has happened again is for your greatest and highest good. Not only your greatest and highest good, but the greatest and highest good of the ones that are around you, the greatest and highest good of your community, the greatest and highest good of your lineage. Ashe. Oh shit, child. I don't like wasp. Get away. Get the fuck away. Can you go? Shit. Don't be coming over here thinking you're going to be sitting with me, because I don't want you to sit with me. Y'all, I don't like wasps, but the wasp just flew away when I said that. You got to talk to the animals, y'all, and the birds and the bugs and the bees and shit, because they do understand the big ass wasp. Big abundant energy, but I don't like that. Don't be coming all up in my personal space. I don't care what kind of messages you bring in. Okay? But then again, big wasp, when we was talking about sustenance, okay, you being rooted, you being grounded. Y'all see how much I don't like wasps? Now I'm like, where you at? Trying to drink from my coffee and everything, y'all. Look up the spiritual significance of a wasp. Y'all come back and write it in the comments. Alrighty. But yeah, this is something that's gonna be. Oh, look at the owl. Maybe that's why he landed on the card, to make me pay attention to my spirit guide, my animal spirit guide, which is the owl. I came out today and 2 owls were speaking to me instead of 1 today. I felt very much so loved. Okay, very much so looked after, watched over, protected, okay? And you need to know that you're being protected, and they're watching you. They're watching you. Ashe. Ashe, ashe. Mhm. But continue to be authentic. Continue to be who you are. Okay? The mask of so many people have been lifted, y'all. And that's why y'all see a lot of these people within the spiritual community. They're like pushing these classes and things like that because the energy is falling. Babylon is falling, y'all. So the true leaders are rising, and the ones that are being the agents that are being put in your face they're having a downfall, y'all. They're having a downfall. Right? Their teachings aren't resonating anymore because we've shifted the energy, right? The energy of the ascended masters have shifted the energies that were, okay, because they are no longer the energies that be, right? This is a spiritual warfare, a great spiritual war. um yeah, it's taking place right now, and we're winning, Ashe. But you have stepped into your authentic self, okay, into your inner knowing. You know who you are, you love who you are, you nurture who you are, right? You're no longer, for some of y'all, objectifying yourself to certain behaviors, mindsets. Okay, for some of y'all, some of you guys are even dressing differently. Okay, I heard the queen within because you acknowledge the goddess within, or the God within. I ain't never seen that bug before, but I hear that owl. Sit with your. For some of you guys, you're being called to sit outside, okay, in nature. Alrighty. For some of you guys, you're being called to connect with the energy of the owl, okay, of that inner knowing. Can y'all hear it? Okay. Okay. Yes, for the energy of the wasp. I love that. Uh-huh. Well, it's funny that as you were talking about the negative attributes, I heard in my spirit, I heard, nah, we're not talking about that. Right? Because you guys have been released from the shackles. Alrighty. And we were talking about Mayat earlier. Things have a balance being restored, right? So those positive attributes of the wasp, right? Which is the protection, community, and then the importance of following one's path. That is what needs to be enlightened, right? Too many times we dwell on the negative connotations of things. And even this rising, right? Speaking of ignoring the negative, we were speaking about that earlier within the message. But speaking of that, this rising, as I was cleansing my cards, I was getting ready, right, for our energy read, even though we have barely fucked any day. But I was looking at some cards in the reverse, and I heard Spirit say, we're not reading anything in the reverse today. Flip all the cards to the right side. But I didn't, because I'm like, I'm just not going to read them in the negative connotations today. But nothing came out in the reverse anyways. Look at my beautiful blessing. Hey, sugar butt. How you doing? Oh, yes, I see. How you feeling today? Are you sure? Yeah. Do you feel sick or anything? Do you feel good? You don't feel sick? Say hello, everybody. Say how y'all doing. What did you eat? Did you eat you some potatoes and some turkey sausage that mommy cooked you? Yeah, I made you some eggs and potatoes and turkey sausage. Alrighty. But the last card is endurance, guys. It's endurance. Follow your soul's path. Follow your heart's path. Follow your inner guidance. You guys are being protected by the energy of the buffalo, by the energy of the wolf, by the energy of the deer, by the energy of the white horse, which is spirit. Okay? So know that I love you all so very much. Okay? Continue to take heed to these messages, alrighty? Continue to stay in divine alignment. Continue to nurture yourself. Continue to grow. Continue to heal, my babies. Okay? Now we're gonna go, alrighty? But I give thanks for all of the donations, for all of the gifts and things like that. If you guys would like to book a personal reading with me, then you guys can do so by inboxing me here, alrighty, and I'll send you guys the information. I do video readings and I do over the phone readings as well. If you stay in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, then you can get an in-person reading from me. Alrighty, in-person readings are a little more, okay, priced at $77, but it is you guys receive some powerful messages. It really don't matter if we do it over the phone, video, or in person. There'll still be powerful messages. I, however, love in-person readings more because you guys get to actually pick your own cards. I'll do the shuffling and things like that, but you guys will get to put your energy on the cards, and it's just for me, I like connecting better, face to face. But again, I know everybody isn't comfortable with that. Alrighty, so know that video and over the phone readings are available, because I know some people don't even like video readings. So that's why we made over the phone available as well. But you guys can also, I can also send you guys video clips if y'all don't even want to talk on the phone. Okay. But know that I am open and available for readings all the time. And yeah, just hit me up if y'all need me. Alrighty. I'm available for just not simple conversations, right? Not simple conversations. But I am available for enlightening conversations if you guys have any questions or anything like that. I'll be on here a little later to answer some personal questions. I do those donation based already, but sometimes I am called to answer questions for free. So there may be sometimes you guys get online and I am answering questions for certain people for free, but know that is something that is not extended to everybody all the time. Alrighty. But today you guys can ask me any 3 questions for $10. Okay, for only $10. That is the special that I am doing today. And again, we can do that via video, in person, or over the phone. Alrighty, so again, I love y'all so much. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for all the likes, the subscribes, all that good stuff, the gifts, and all that great energy that you guys have been putting out. Thank you for the wisdom that you all shared while on this live, whether it be with each other or with me. We give thanks for that. And we give thanks for divine growth and divine alignment. Ashe. Peace. And as we close out this reading, May we all be protected in love, peace, grace, harmony, honor, and favor. Ashe.